you want to know how to be a successful investor, stay with what you know. Find your passion, whatever it is, and then do it. Just find your own passion and stay with it. The more I knew the numbers, the more likely I was to be successful. Everybody wants to be rich this month. It's not easy. This is not an easy way to make money or to even make a living. So it takes a lot of work, like most things in life. In those days, we did nothing but focus and concentrate and dig deep and dig deep and dig deep. That's how you become successful. Don't listen to TV people, internet people. Just stay with what you know. If I told you you can only have 20 investments in your life, you would be very careful. You wouldn't be jumping in and out, listening to hot tips every day, every month. You would stay with what you know, and you would become a successful investor. Everybody watching this knows a lot about something, whether it's fashion or cars or sports or something. Don't just say, oh, that's going to be great. Don't tell all you. When you see something that you know is going to be successful and exciting, then you go and you do your research and you figure out how to and if you should invest and how to invest, and then you invest. You will know it long before I will, or long before other people in the investment community. You will also know when to sell, because you will know when something's going to change again. Nobody likes to hear it. Everybody wants a hot tip. Everybody wants to be rich this month. Well, the second advice is don't listen to hot tips. Stay away from hot tips. Just stay with what you know. I mean, it's boring and nobody wants to hear it. But that's how you become successful. In those days, we did nothing but focus and concentrate and dig deep and dig deep and dig deep. That's how you become successful. If you're looking, figure out what you love the most, whatever it is. And if people laugh at you, you're probably really right. You're probably really doing the right thing. Just find your own passion and stay with it. My passion was, and still is, but especially then, my passion was the investment world, all over the world. It didn't matter. We didn't know about countries. We didn't have all these labels about value and blah, blah. We just found things that were cheap and bought them, or found things that were expensive and sold them short. I loved it. So if you can find your passion, whatever it is, that's what you should do. Ignore your friends. If you say, I want to be a gardener, everybody's going to laugh at you. Your parents are going to say, we didn't educate you to become a gardener. Your friends are going to say, you hear he's a gardener. Your teachers are going to say, we educated you. You do it. You go and become a gardener, because if you love it, you'll never go to work. You'll wake up every day and have fun. You'll be the happiest person around. It won't matter if you're successful because you're happy, but you will be successful, because those are the people who are the most successful. And someday when you have a chain of garden shops listed on the New York Stock Exchange, your parents are going to call you and say, oh, but you remember how we used to give you seeds when you were a child? We knew you would be a good gardener someday. The professors are going to call and say, we knew it. We helped you. Give us a building. Your friends are going to call and say, I see you're on the New York Stock Exchange. I need a job. All those people who laughed at you and ridiculed you before. So find your passion, whatever it is, and then do it. That's all I did in those days. I loved it so much. I just loved it so much. I couldn't wait. I didn't like it when the market closed, because it was harder to do research. At first, I thought everybody was smarter than me because they were older and been around more experience than me. Then I found that most of them made many mistakes too. I should stop listening to them. And I started realizing that if I could find things, that's when I started realizing a key for me was to find something cheap that was changing. And I realized about the numbers and the balance sheets. I told you before, I realized that I was once working on reading an annual report and doing a spreadsheet. An experienced guy walked in the room and said, people still do that? Nobody looks at spreadsheets anymore. Laughed at me. Well, I mean, I was embarrassed, but I kept doing it. That was what I loved, and by experience, I learned that if I understood the numbers and I understood what was going on, I was to be ahead of other people. It wasn't easy, but it turned out I loved it, and I loved to track down everything. But it was purely by experience and learning that the more I knew about the companies, the competition, the numbers, the more likely I was to be successful, because I realized that nobody else was doing it. And after you have a few successes doing it your way, then you realize, hey, I'm onto something. But it wasn't because I realized I was on it. I realized because I loved it so much. I love tracking down. You know, it's like going to work every day. You were in a three-dimensional puzzle, and every day they were changing the parts all day long. All week long. It is a fabulous way to spend your time, because it's a three-dimensional puzzle that is always changing. My gosh, it's fun.